Hey guys, welcome to the masterclass for physio clinic owners. So we're going to go through how to add 20 to 30,000 in revenue per month using the B.O.S.S method in 6 months, and so that you can get your time back. What you're going to walk away with during this presentation is I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step formula that can lead you towards a 7-figure practice. And this way, you can help more people while still getting your time back. So who have I helped? Okay, so this is actually a screenshot of a testimonial that one of my mentees have given me. So just to read out, they really enjoyed the mentoring program and they became more confident after. And while I provided them a lot of guidance and insights, it has been invaluable and they truly appreciate the depth and experience and the wisdom that I brought to them. Okay, so in a nutshell, this clinic owner was in practice for about 8 months and was currently making about $25,000 to $30,000 in revenue per month. Okay, and ever since joining the mentorship, and he has been on board with me for the past 4 months. Currently, his revenue has already gone up to 45K per month. Okay, and that is being very consistent, and we have put in all these things that needs to be done to make this a success. Okay, and he has finally taken his first holiday, which he hasn't since he opened up his clinic, because he was pushing hard to always sustain this type of revenue month on month. But now that everything is set up, he can actually take a break. Okay, so this is one of my mentees. And another one, this is a testimonial by someone who has been having his clinic for the past 2 years and was making about 35 to 40K per month in revenue every month in recent times, and has been on my program for the past 3 months. Okay, and this was the very first time, so we literally went through the revenue sets month on month, and this has been the highest month. And when at the time of this testimonial, I believe it was the month of May. Okay, showed up in the month of June. So 60K was the highest for the month ever over the past 2 years. And you can see that, she also stated that her revenue actually increased by 20%. Okay, and this was at the time, and after which the following month it increased all the way even more to 60K, which was the highest ever. Yeah. This is another physio clinic owner for the past 1 year, and he was having roughly about 30K per month in revenue, pretty consistently. And at a time, it even dropped down to 26K. Just was just prior to getting on board. And at this point in time, after joining the program, he has actually improved his average clientele for his staff. So he has one staff who he recently hired in the past couple of months, who was struggling to get anywhere between 1 to 2 clients a day at the most. And after joining the mentorship, we implemented certain things, and his staff was able to generate 4 clients per day on a regular. Okay, we put in systems in place, and he's also new to being a boss, being a owner of a clinic, and we put in things in place for him to lead his team better, right? Which found it very valuable, and we also went through the workflow to ensure that things are being done consistently, right? Especially when you are the boss and you have staff. One of the main questions is, how do I ensure that the quality control is there, that people do almost as per you did in terms of delivering A-star services. And then this is someone else that I helped as well. So she has been in practice for over 2.5 years in the past, and been a solopreneur, meaning that it's just herself in a brick and mortar setting, which can accommodate 3 to 4 rooms, but it's just herself, and she's been like that over the past 2.5 years. And of course, she decided to join on my program, and we went through a 3-day trial period, which I no longer do. And during that program, what we did was we fixed the pricing, we fixed the ads, and since then she has been getting consistent month-to-month clientele. So before that, it was always up and down struggles, and now she's feeling a lot more confident and already starting to look at how to hire her first staff, right? And that's going to unlock so much more potential within her space itself. Yeah. So these are all the people that I helped, and these aren't just stories. This is actually evidence of what's waiting for you. And in the background, the photo is basically my team. So you can see I do have a large team, and this was anniversary dinner that we had, and we invited a few guest speakers as well. Okay, and as you've seen, if you give me your undivided attention through the next couple of minutes to a full hour with me, I'm going to walk you through step by step on how you can escape the physical and mental burnout and start getting back your time and freedom. Okay, and next I want to go through with you who this is for, right? So this is for clinic owners who are stuck between the 30 to 50K per month revenue, and this is in USD, and they simply cannot break through. So they have been having this type of revenue ups and downs consistently over the duration of their practice. This is for people who feel that they are overworked, meaning they are treating full time while having to manage everything around the business. This is also for people who are ready to scale sustainably and they stop being the bottleneck. This is also for people who are family oriented, right? Who want to spend meaningful and quality time with their families so that they can actually enjoy and have the sense of fulfillment. But I've got to be honest with you, this is not for everyone. This isn't for people if you are not already drawing somewhere around the region of $10,000 and more USD per month. And why so? It's because to unlock your own self-motivation to actually see the perks and the rewards that come with running a practice, you do not see it until you have comfortably drawn this type of salary on a month-to-month basis. Okay, and this also sets the expectation that certain things have already been done so that you can draw this amount. Okay, if you're still struggling, having to meet even your first couple of thousand, then this is not for you. This also isn't for you if you do not have a physical business, right? So how it works is I mentor brick and mortar physio or healthcare clinic owners. So if you do not have a physical practice, it's going to be very hard to run you through some of the systems, some of the processes that we have in place. You simply cannot execute if you one day dream of having a physical business but currently do not. This isn't for anyone if your monthly revenue is below $30,000 in USD. The reason being, again, if it's below $30,000 in USD, I can safely say that you have not gotten the drive or set up those basic foundation things in place to even hit this amount. And that is going to be very challenging to move on to the next stage. So once you hit this stage, reach out to me and I'm sure that I can help you with it. This is also not for someone who is not willing to invest in the long run, where you need to give up time and put in effort to build up the system so you can get your time and freedom back. This also isn't for someone who just wants to be the busiest clinician in the country. And I have friends, I have physio business clinic owners who just want to do that, and that's completely fine, right? So if you want to be working 30, 40, 50, even 60 hours a week, just seeing clients and that is fulfilling to you, and that's fine. So we all choose a different path, and this isn't for you as well. This is only for the few who can. Okay, and in the background in the picture, that is the Singapore's Prime Minister. At this point in time, we took a photo together at one of our my clinic's opening as well. Right, so that's just the background. But focusing on this is only for the few who can. Did you know that more than 90% of healthcare businesses remain as solopreneurs? Okay, either they are working in a brick and mortar setup that they have set themselves up and they are the only clinician, or at the most they are a clinician plus have an admin staff, or they might have gotten lucky, maybe hired a locum or a part-timer, or maybe had one staff. And this is pretty much 90% of the physio healthcare businesses, right? And did you know that in the whole world, there are about 30 million companies with a headcount of one, which essentially is all businesses. You need to have a minimum of one. Okay, so 30 million companies in the world, they have a headcount of one. And out of this, 78% are service-based businesses, which is essentially what you and me do. It is to provide a service in return for a fee. And the number of businesses that actually grow beyond that one headcount to perhaps 1 to 4, it is 7.1 million. And this is a dramatic drop from 30 million. And this only accounts for about 28% of companies. So if you yourself have a team right now consisting of 1 to 4 members, you can see that you are already way past most or the majority of the companies in the world. And the number of businesses that are 7 figures, so meaning they are hitting 1 mil in revenue and above, are only 2.1 million. And that accounts to only 7% of the number of businesses in the world. And I am part of the 7%. So a little bit more about myself. Who am I? My name is Bala, and I have been a physio for the past 11 years. And out of those 11 years, I have set up shop clinic for the past 8 years. And I have built more than 8 clinics, and out of which I've also explored 3 different joint ventures clinics, meaning partnered with someone to open up a clinic with them and for them. And now I lead a group, and we do roughly around 3 million a year. And up until the point of 2 million, I was not running any ads. Means it was just the process and the systems that I'm going to speak to you about later on that has gotten me to this mark. And beyond that, ads definitely help. And as you can see, I spend a lot of time doing a lot of different things without any burnouts. So in 2017, I launched my first clinic, and the background, it's actually my first clinic. So you can see it's a small space. I didn't even have blocked up rooms. There were just a couple of curtains. I had 3 beds. Okay, and I did this without any prior knowledge of business or operations, and literally took on everything under the sun, which includes being the cleaner, doing the marketing, doing the administrative work, doing the sales rep, picking up calls, networking, you name it, I've done it. And through those times, I realized, or looking back, I realized what I actually enjoyed. I really enjoyed the time I got with my patients. I enjoyed the freedom to spend my time as I wish. I was also able to take on all these new opportunities and challenges that was not available to me or was oppressed in my past workspaces. But what I also did not enjoy was that the time that got taken away from my family and friends. Because I had full autonomy of how I spend my time, I was spending it fully on the business, servicing my clients. And I did not like the fact that I spent my free time worrying about the sustainability of the business. I did not like that I had no one to hold my hand and guide me. And this is not without trying. I have reached out to people when I first started out, and some or most people just blocked me off. There wasn't someone doing this, and that probably still isn't, at least in the Southeast Asian space. So what I started to do was I compared myself to my previous job. So every day you wake up, you wonder why you are still doing this. In my previous job, where I was working in the hospital in a public setting, I was probably roughly working about 42 hours a week. And in my own private clinic, in my own brick and mortar space, I was doing anywhere between 50 hours to 60, right? And this is on top of all these commitments as well. And I was probably making marginally more after maybe 2 years. Yeah, at the first year, it was still a struggle. And even after then, even though I was making marginally more than what I could have made in the public sector, I was time poor. I could not, at the whims, just take leave, inform my boss that I want to head off somewhere, because I was the own boss and I had to answer to my landlords, my staff, and people around that are vested in me, right? And I was completely mentally and physically drained. So I started to question myself, did I actually make the right choice? Assumption is, if I did, can I challenge myself? I told myself there had to be a better way. I looked around. There were businesses that were thriving. They had multiple locations, multiple staff, and I'm very sure that their revenue was way above mine. How is it that they can do it and I can't? I wanted to see my patients without the thought of revenue. I did not want to service my clients thinking that this is just another lead that's going to help me sustain the business. I wanted to get to a point where I did not have to think about the revenue while I did my healthcare and actually care for the people I served. I truly, I wanted to truly choose how I spend my time. When I first started out, I thought that I had full autonomy, full control of my time. But little did I realize that the time was controlled by the business, by my staff, by my patients. I did not actually have control of my time. I also wanted the mental clarity and assurance that this was going to work out. Before that, it was a gamble. It was almost trusting on luck. Who's going to show up today? Who's going to come in tomorrow? How's my sales going to look like this month? Can I even pay my rent? But there came a breaking point. I was hustling hard and trying to network, doing the best I can to bring in the revenue into the clinic. And there was a point in time where I was at an orthopedic surgeon's clinic, and it was a meeting to see how we can partner and me potentially servicing his clients. But at the very same moment, my wife was actually in the labor ward, about to give birth to my first son. The doctor looked at me, and when I shared with him the good news, letting him know that, oh, actually, my wife, it's not too far away from your clinic, and we are about to have a child any moment now. And he said, you shouldn't be doing here. You shouldn't be here. You should be actually with your wife at this present moment. And and that hit me hard. I realized I'd become the person that I promised that I wouldn't be. Physically present for everyone, but mentally absent for those people who mattered the most. I was working to pay rent. I was answering to my staff who said they did not have enough clients. I realized I had no systems in place. Everyone who showed up at the door wanted me and no one else. And that was a big problem because I had limited time. This wasn't freedom, it was a prison. So I discovered the biggest challenge for me was to figure out how to earn more, work less, and truly get my time back. So again, I went hard and asked around mentors for advice, people who have done it before me, people who have made it, which I can see there were a few. And I spoke to people who are running 7-figure clinics, some even 8-figure clinics, and really try to understand and learn how they did it. It was only then that I managed to narrow it down to these 3 steps. And these 3 steps basically involve me doing something radically different. I had to stop being the business. I had to create something bigger than myself. And that was when the B.O.S.S method was born. What does B.O.S.S stand for? It stands for brand, operations, and systems. And if you're wondering what the last S stands for, it's equals to scale. Okay, if you have brand, operations, and systems, you can scale. Brand. This is the new leverage. And when I talk about brand, it's not your personal brand, but it's the brand of the company that you started. Operations is the execution engine where things move and fixes your revenue and make sure that's retention. Systems, this refers to the repeatable frameworks that you have so that you have some structure so that you can take a break, walk away without things completely breaking down. And ever since implementing the B.O.S.S method, how has my life changed? I get to be at every milestone for my kids and family. And of course, ever since then, I have gone ahead to have 3 kids, as you can see from the picture behind. And I still run one of the biggest bootstrap allied health group in Singapore. And those are all my teammates. And I do a few other things. I also run a gym, and which is also thriving. And this really gave me the time, the space, the freedom to truly do what I like to do with my time. So you can be in the old way where you are the face of everything. You have no systems, no delegation. You may be running ads which are not converting, don't give you a return on investment. You hire people who just walk away the next minute. You have a high staff turnover. And your revenue is generally capped by the number of hours that you can provide. Very much like this hawker that you see in the picture. Compared to the new way, this is Din Tai Fung. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It's they're not very different. It's also started by a Chinese hawker, and the only thing he did differently, and this is a brand that still at this present moment has been passed down multiple generation and still available widely and internationally. The things he did different in the new way is that the clients came to the brand and not the hawker. He set up systems and standard operating procedures, automated things, had clear workflows so that he can make good food, serve the people, and keep the systems running. He had organic brand equity and a content engine. He had high retention through structured operations, recurring revenue so that he can actually go on to open more and more shops, even when the boss wasn't around. And how does life look once you implement the new way? At least this is how it looked like for me. Now, I have multiple income streams. I have a few clinics that I look after. I have joint ventures with people. I have constantly people asking me if they can be partner with me to do a build with you clinic. And I have a few other businesses that I look after as well because now I have the luxury of time. Speaking of time, I also have a second tier of managers that look after the business. Okay. And I get to work, get to see clients when I want. And this really helped me solve the issue of not having to see a client because I view them as helping my business to remain sustainable, but for me to actually truly want to help them. And financially, I can spend it on my family. I can buy the house of my choice. I can work towards early retirement. Location, yes, it's a brick and mortar, but now I get to choose when I go into the clinic. It's either usually for meetings or if I'm seeing my clients. So what do we do in the B.O.S.S method and how do we go about? So phase 1, it's your brand. Okay. In the program, we go on to clarifying what brand means. Many of you have clinics, have a name to the clinic, but that's it. There's no identity to it. And I can tell you that most people don't even know who they serve. They see anyone and everyone who walks in, and that often becomes the problem. What a brand is influence in scale, right? So you have to understand first, who are you communicating to? Who are you trying to market towards? And really, what's your positioning? It's not just about your logo or colors, but it's what you want to communicate. And there's a reason why a lot of these brands fail. I have seen multiple healthcare businesses start up and go out of fashion in a matter of a couple of years or months, some. Because most clinic owners try to appeal to everyone and they end up connecting with no one. They run ads, they post content without first understanding who are the clients that you are serving, what makes them unique in this market as a business, and how can they use their own personal story to build trust. No one talks about this, and that is what brand is. You might ask, when should I work on my brand? As early as possible. You have to have the vision, especially if you are stuck making 30 to 50K a month. You need to get the clarity, and this is going to unlock so much more potential, and you're going to get consistent clients without needing to see more people. Some of the common mistakes when physio clinic owners go out to create their own brand and identity is they copy paste marketing with zero personalization. They are not unique. They hire social media agencies even before defining what's their brand, and they get quoted exorbitant prices. Having 10 different messages across platforms, meaning that you're not communicating the same thing in these multiple platforms. How I help? I guide you to create your brand that speaks to your ideal client. Using your existing client base and also your personal story, we put them together and create that unique branding. We also look through your marketing assets so you become a magnet for patients who pay and stay. And when you actually figure out your brand, you realize that you attract the right referral partners as well. You actually know what to explain and what is your unique selling points that you can provide to your referral partners. Next, it's hiring. Once you have your clear branding, it becomes so much easier to attract talent because you will get like-minded folks because do you actually know what is the type of person that you want into your clinic, and the right people also gravitate towards your brand. Next is operations. Operations refer to building out these structured workflows to guide the client journey from start to finish. And this can include your standard operating procedures. How are they rebooking? Is there a protocol to it? How are you um, how are you looking into the services provided to these clients? Is it of quality? What is the expectations for your team? Do they need to do certain things that needs to be explained and put into writing? So this is what operations consists of. And operations turn your vision into your predictable reality. So what is operation and why do you need to do it? And why do most operations fail? Most clinics grow organically. I put the inverted commas there because they just leave things to run and they go with the flow. I'm sure you might have heard that. So they often very, very heavily depend on the owner, right? So you just do as per the owner, or the owner does this certain things this way. No one can actually look into it and follow. They struggle with retaining client and rebooking. They're constantly worrying about how can I get a new client when they are probably putting tons of money on the table because they are not looking into retaining their existing client base. They drop the ball when things get busy. When things are extremely busy, they completely lose focus. And they cannot, once they start going into hiring, they cannot replicate the success across the other team members. And I've seen happen time and time again. You end up micromanaging, likely losing clients, and burning out trying to hold it all together. When to do it, when to set up your operations. If you are making anywhere between 20 to 30K per month in terms of revenue, when you yourself feel like you're burning out as a main clinician, or be it if you are starting to hire or thinking of starting to hire, these are all instances where you would really need to think about sorting out your operations. And this is a critical point where sloppy operations are going to hold you back going to the next level. What are some of the common mistakes people make when setting up operations? They have no SOPs. They did not do any documentations about what the administrative people need to do. How do you onboard talents? Even documentation. They have inconsistent follow-ups. Even drop-offs means actually would-be client did not actually book in because there was an issue with the operations. And you may even end up getting bad reviews because of this. Nothing to do with your clinical skills, but it's because you did not have proper operations in place. So you as the owner ends up micromanaging and firefighting, being very reactive and not proactive. How can I help? We audit your full client flow from the start to the finish. And I help you create all the playbooks that you need to get patients to stay for longer, increase their lifetime value of the client, and really take pressure off so you can take a break, go on a holiday without guilt, because you can be assured that there are processes in place. And this adds revenue without adding more to your plate. And I'll show you more case studies later on as well. Phase 3 is when you start looking at systems. So systems refers to the behind the scenes engine that keeps your clinic running without the constant supervision. We use a 3-part approach. So first, we eliminate what's not essential. And me, having been through the whole journey over the past 7 to 8 years, I can exactly tell you which are needed, which are not. Automate what's repetitive. If something happens again and again, even more than once, now that's my straw these days, it is not a person problem or a certain task problem. It's a systems problem. Okay, you have to automate what's repetitive. Lastly, is to delegate. Currently, you're probably thinking, I have so much to do, so much on my plate, and I have few people that I can actually rely on. And I can show you exactly what are the tasks that can be delegated, still reassuring you on the quality of work. And the right systems create consistency, trust, and skill. Why do most systems fail? Because clinic owners, they wait too long to build them. They think, I need to focus on seeing my clients. I need to work all day, every day. I don't have time to document any of this. I don't have time to set up the systems. And that's why they fail. Because you will never be less busy. Every day you're getting busier. Number one, they do not document their processes. They rely on verbal instructions. They delegate way too late. And they think it's just faster if they do it themselves. It probably is, but you cannot scale. So when to do it? Right after you sort out some of your operations where you have documentation of the processes, things are a little bit more stable, you're planning to grow, means you're hiring, you're launching new services, you're marketing, you need to have the system. And system gives you the freedom to grow without you sacrificing your sanity. Common mistakes people make when they are setting up their systems. They do not have any onboarding process for the new staff. Every time you hire an administrative staff, they do their things their own way, which I can bet you it's frustrating. Hiring is out of desperation. You suddenly find a big hole when either one of your staff leaves, or you need to go on a holiday or a break. You are desperate. You will do anything to sustain the business. And that's way too late. You don't have any client relationship manager platforms, no patient database, or you don't utilize those databases. How can I help? I show you how to eliminate, automate, and delegate. And I can show you how to build systems for hiring, training, lead management, and patient retentions using tools you probably already have, but just not know how to utilize them the right way. After which you stop being the bottleneck and start being the visionary that you are. So if you're stuck between 30 to 50K per month, working 10 plus hours a day, and still not being able to take a proper break, you don't need more hours or another location. All you need is brand, operations, and systems. So this is the path of success. So I can take you through minimum 6 months, and this is what 6 months look like. At the bottom, you can see all the different things that we help you guide and put into practice. So the first 2 months is going to be spent building your brand, okay, getting your messaging clear and communicating the right things to the right people. And this graph has been set up in this specific way because there's going to be overlaps. In the next 2 months or earlier, we're also going to start setting up your processes. This includes your pricing, your rebooking, your metrics, and even looking at the capacity. Next, we're going to look at systems the last 2 months, because once you have your brand more or less set up, you have your processes going on, going to be overlapping with your systems in place, where you look at your onboarding, your marketing, your different playbooks that you have to increase your revenue and sales, and looking at your finances, how to make sense of it. So this is what the path of success looks like. So let me give you a sneak peek inside the mentoring program itself. So this is what it looks like. And this is actually a path. You can see all the way from this little tentage here, while you scale up this mountain. And this mountain, the peak, leads to your 7-figure practice. So putting some timelines, and I can tell you that I have been through all the stages over here, and I have spoken to multiple business owners, and these statements are all statements from them, real life examples, and you can rest assured that these are the same problems that they all face. So at the start, you open your own physical clinic, but you are constantly burned out. You are the main person that people go out to. You can't seem to catch a break, and you have a mental breakdown. All of it is listed here. Next, you end up being booked out. Yeah, but you are not actually making more money, right? So there's some leaks somewhere. Next, you start having your first full-time hire, and slowly you might have a small team, and then you go on to hit capacity. Means in your clinic you are booked out, and even at this point in here, even though you think you're fully maxed out, there are different things we can do to continue to go and scale up to this level where you can have a 7-figure clinic. And I can show you exactly how I did it. And this is basically the roadmap. So during a competition at the very beginning, I'm going to plot you here on the map and show you what are the things that you must have achieved or gone through prior. What are the things that you need to achieve to be on the next stage, and I'll map you through the actionables in between. So what do you get in the program? So I provide bi-weekly 1-hour video calls with support. I have certain templates, workflows, and plug and play system that's already been created and done with my past mentees, and they are all fully accessible to you at any point in time. I also have video tutorials which can be accessed at any time, meaning, for example, how to hire your first staff. There's a full video, how to get doctors to refer to. There's a referral playbook. There's a full 45-minute video that you can have access to at any point in time. There are also coaching documents. So it means every training that I do with you, there's a document that you will get access to, which you can access any point in time. There's also a community chat for like-minded people. Basically, all my my mentees, they are in this chat, and you can actually bounce off ideas and put in questions and see what different people are struggling at different stages. And you can be assured that these are people with the same mindset as you. Like I said, I have connections and access to a lot of physio business owners, at least in my country. And I can tell you, scaling or getting the time and freedom is not for everyone. And not many people go out there to pursue it. So those people in the community, you can be assured that they share the same mindset as you. So this is what I offer in my program. And I can show you some case studies of my current mentees. So this is someone who was usually making 30 to 35K. And at that point of starting the mentorship, dropped to actually 26 right before he started. And he was doing everything: marketing, hiring, admin, the treatment. And he had no idea what his branding was. And he was very hesitant to hire, right? Making his, even though his space can well take more than one more staff, right? And so he figured, he should go up to an agency. He actually was about to sign with one, and they quoted him $10,000, and they're going to provide him. I think it's two videos a week, so meaning about 8 in that month for $10,000, right? But he was telling me that after I went through the whole material on how to actually market your clinic and how to actually refine who you're serving to, he was telling me that this is much more well worth than whatever that was quoted by the agency. So what did we do for him? We refined his dream client, aligned his messaging, and also went through so these are all literally summaries of our mentorship program with him. 7-11-4 trust strategy, right? So you need to be seen on 7 different platforms. I have you need to have people consume 7 hours of you at on 11 different platforms and have had 4 different interactions with you to form this trust. And I literally walk you through how to do this in your physio clinic sense. Operations, we tighten the rebooking, make sure that people actually want to come back and can come back and have the ability to come back. We fix the packages. So if we do offer packages, I go through with you the psychology behind certain pricing structure as well. Set up certain operations in place. Put in systems, actually using your database to set up the EDMs, which is electronic digital mailers. If you have SMS access as well, we set it up. We automated the lead nurturing flow and even built the hiring workflow as he was looking to hire more people. The results, just in 4 months, he was back up to more than 35 consistently. Okay. And he was finally drawing a consistent owner pay. Right. Prior to that, he wasn't even drawing a salary. Okay. He went on to hire a massage therapist and continuing to look for a physio hire, because what he got was mainly the confidence to actually go out because there was a structure in place. And this is literally his words, most useful session I had on actually running the business. Another case study, this is by someone who is a brand new clinic owner for roughly about 5 months, but also doing really well, already doing 30 to 40K a month. And I can tell you that this is where most people get stuck. So they hit 30 to 50, and there are like hundreds of clinics doing this. Not many actually go past this level. And he was working 14 to 15 hours. Again, another person who was not paying himself. But he's just only 5 months in. He did not have any systems, no onboarding process, no lead gen strategies as well. And he just hired his first physio. He was only about 20% booked out, and he was struggling. One, managing his own caseload, managing the business, trying to get his new physio to take on more clients. So what did we do for him? We clarified his niche. So again, to figure out who he's actually serving, build the relationships with the doctors he already has. So you can see he's making decent money. So he does have networking and relationships already set up, but it's just not materializing. So we went through those strategies, started Instagram and events strategy, which he was keen on. I walked him through the KPIs and what to expect, and what you actually get at the end of it. Operations, onboarding structures, rebooking scripts, went through staff KPIs because he was now trying to lead physio and did not know what to say or expect from this person. Google reviews as well, cleaned it up. Systems, we delegated the communication, so there has to be a channel for communications and effective communications. We set up a process for reviews, so whether their clients are coming back. All the workflows were redefined, and even your lead capture. So what do you did with leads that don't get booked in? Results, within that 3 months, his new physio went up in terms of his weekly stats for clients. Now he's up to 4 per day, which is fantastic. He used to do 1 or 2 per day. The owner is finally now paying himself because now he has people who can cover when he's not around. Reduce his hours as well from 15 to 10 to 12 hours a day. So generally build clarity around what to look out for in terms of hires, expansions, and the long-term vision. So right now, for some of you, you already decided that this is for you. And I'll show you the next steps you can take if you'd like to learn more about growing together and joining the mentorship. But for those of you who are still thinking, still on the fence, you're probably thinking, I'm very busy treating clients right now. Okay, and these are things that people tell me all the time. And I have been doing mentoring since 2020. Clinic owners reach out to me, asking me to help them. I put in a lot of effort and time, sit down with them and go through the things that they should be doing in a very non-structured manner. And they will tell me the same thing. I'm very busy treating clients right now. Exactly. That's the problem. If you're too busy treating to fix the business, then being full is your goal, but that is not going to get you towards freedom. So you have to decide. We work around your clinic hours, even 2 to 3 hours a week of implementing all the things that we discuss and share. It's good enough. Imagine being this busy but still not earning more. And I've been there. I was not making much more than what I would have either working for someone or even just working in the public sector, which is not what you set out your clinic for. You don't need more time, you need a system. If you're thinking, I need to hire first, then I'll work on this. If hiring was easy, you would have already done it. And I can tell you, it's the fact is the reason you haven't is because good people want to work for great brands. And a brand isn't just a logo, it's your values, your systems, and your consistency. And how you make your team feel, do you make them feel supported? Without that, you can get hires, but you likely won't stay for long. Build the brand first, and the right team will show up waiting. Don't hire into chaos. Fix the engine before you add passengers. If you're thinking, I have a few things I want to try and implement first. That makes sense. But let me ask you this. Would you rather keep guessing or follow a map that has already worked? You're not learning from theory, you're learning from someone who's literally walked the path from 6 to 7, and I'm currently working towards 8. Build teams, open clinics, and this is all I've done. And the difference between trying and thriving is who you're learning from. Like I said, I don't think there is anyone else currently doing this in my space in this geography. The problem isn't that you're not good enough, it's believing that you are. The one thing that stops 99% of people from achieving their dreams, goals, and aspirations in life are the stories that you tell yourself. If you truly want freedom, you have to rewrite your own stories and give yourself permission to succeed. You have to go from I can't to I can. I'm not good enough to I'm the best at what I do. I want to I have. I wish to I will. And these are the cost of your inactions. Right now, you have 3 choices. Either you can do nothing, stay stuck, keep missing your dinners because your clients are more important than everything else. Stay capped. Like I said, 90% of clinic owners that I know stay at this level. You can try to do it yourself. Spend the next 3 to 5 years learning what I have already painstakingly spent a lot of time, effort, and money, lost a lot of money to learn the things to do and not to do. Lastly, the third choice is to partner with me. I show you the shortcuts. I show you how to implement the B.O.S.S method, and you can start winning as early as 90 days. This isn't going to be easy, but the life you want isn't going to magically show up someday. You have to go after it. Imagine if you fast forward 6 months from now, where you're waking up with no alarms, earning more, working less, and living more. Would that be something that you're opposed to? But before you decide, if this doesn't excite you and you don't believe this is the next best step for you to go from where you are to where you want to be, click away from this masterclass and you can stop watching right here. But if this does excite you and you believe this is the next best step for you, here's what you need to do. There's a book a call below in this video. Once you click it, you'll be taken to my calendar and you can choose the best time and day for you to chat one-on-one on a Zoom. And this is what my booking page looks like. You can click on the button below. And in the call, we'll discuss where you're at currently, where you want to be, the main challenges that's holding you back from achieving your dreams, and see if I can genuinely and truly help you. Are you in a position that I can help you with? And I will literally outline the roadmap for you for success to bring you from where you are to where you want to be. At the end of the call, if you feel like this is something that works for you, this is something that I can help you with, and you want my personal mentorship every step of the way, we'll confirm your spot in the mentorship. So these are screenshots of people who have already bought into the mentorship, still in, thriving. But if you're still on the fence, whether this mentorship would help you, here's more about what I've actually physically built. So this is one of my done with you clinic, means I partnered with someone to open up a clinic together. This is less than 2 years. The boss actually only works 3 days a week. We have things in place. We have put in the brand, the systems, the operations. It's a linear upward trend. Okay, the data was taken on early July, so that's why you see the drop. I'm sure it's continuing to increase. This is my own roadmap. This is my very first clinic, and you can see the red line is the line, the amount you need to make per month to hit an average of 7 figures in a year. Been there, done that. This is just a single clinic out of my many number of clinics. So I can show you and tell you that you don't need to expand to hit 7 figures. You don't need to wait 7 years to do what I did. I can show you the steps. You can even see 2020, there was a dip. We all know what happened in 2020. We came right back up because we had everything set up. If on the call, this isn't a perfect fit for you, we just leave as friends. No hard feelings. But if this is something that you think will work for you, DM me 777 on the Instagram so I know that you have actually watched this exact video, and I'll personally answer any more questions that you have so that we can get you started right away. Otherwise, if you're ready to chat, feel free to book a call with me below and we can start breaking down what your roadmap to success looks like. If you want to earn more, work less, and build a clinic that thrives without you, this is your moment. Look forward to speaking with you soon.